right, we are live here. This is the Boots Ennis versus David Avanesyan fight. And I mean, this is a big fight for boxing right now. The welterweight division. Boots is the IBF champion. You know what I mean? And they are fighting at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That's where the Sixers play. This is a big fight for Philly. It's a big fight for Boots. And David Avanesyan is looking to come play spoiler in this situation. Right now, we got the Jaleel Hackett fight going on. Jaleel Hackett fighting out of Southeast Washington, D.C. So shout out to Jaleel Hackett. Right now, on my scorecard, I got Hackett up 6-0. I mean, I feel like Hackett, what's that, the fourth round? I feel like the Hackett in the fourth round had a 10-8 round. So because Hackett had the 10-8 round, I feel like, Hackett's up big. It's looking like 60 to 50 3, something like that. So he up big on the scorecards. To me right now, I don't see it being any different. And we're gonna enter into the 7th round. Excuse me, the 8th round. And I said that wrong, excuse me. I mean 70 to 60, excuse me. Jaleel Hackett. And so right now, Hackett's been beating up. He's been beating up Dobson, Pistol Pete Dobson, for the whole fight, in my opinion. Just been a lot more active. Earlier in the fight, Dobson gave him a little bit of go. But, once Hackett got to that 4th round, he really turned it up. And Dobson hasn't been able to recover since. This round looks a little different, though. Dobson's coming out throwing a couple more heavier shots, staying front foot, not letting Hackett back him up like he's done over the last couple rounds. And right now it's just a jabbing contest. It's 2:14 left in the 8th round right now. And they're just jabbing versus jab. I feel like they both getting a really good exchange right now. And on Chris Mannix's scorecard, he actually gave Dobson the last round. He has it 69 to 64. I beg to differ. I think it's a little different. I think Hackett is up big. So right now, in my opinion, he's pitching a shutout. Shout out to the kid from D.C., man. Of course, I'm glad we did catch the last bit of his fight on the live, so I can talk a little bit about Jaleel Hackett, man. He is 8-0 with 7 knockouts. Dobson, however, has never been knocked out, and his last fight was against, if I'm not mistaken, what's the guy named Conor Benn, and Conor Benn was a pretty good fight, or whatever the case may be. So right now, Hackett is just, jabbing away and getting his man on. It's a really close round so far. I feel like Hackett's just been a little more active in his round, so you might give it to Hackett, but right there, they just both landed a good check hook on left side for both of the fighters. So, Hackett's using the jab well. Hackett's never been past 4 rounds, and this is twice as long as he's ever been. And maybe this was Dobson's plan to kind of get the young boy, because the boy is only 21 years old, and Dobson is 35, if I'm not mistaken. And so, excuse me, 34. And so Dobson is able, oh man, Hackett lands a really good power jab right there. And I think Hackett did the right thing. Oh, man, it's a good exchange right there. Hackett lands a body shot. Dobson lands a response to it. But Hackett, I feel like, got the best because he landed about 2 to 3 punches right there, where Dobson only really landed 1. And they both exchanged jabs right there. It's 12 seconds left in this 8th round. Oh, man, and Dobson comes with a good flurry. And you might feel like Dobson might have got some of that win back that he lost earlier in the fight. And that's going to be the end of the 8th round. I like to talk about Jaleel Hackett right now because I think he's a really, really, really good fighter. He was signed actually to the money team for his first couple fights. And, he just signed a multi-year deal with DAZN, with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. So, they're going to be on DAZN because that's what Eddie Hearn does. Jaleel Hackett is from the South Side, D.C., representing. So, I'm really proud that he gets a chance to start to display his skill. He sparred the likes of Hurd. He sparred Tank. Everybody in this area, if I'm not mistaken, he's been in the ring with. He's a very skillful fighter. I would like the young boy to work on his defense, a little bit of head movement. But I mean, I feel like he's doing great at what he does. He's a pressure fighter, he's a power fighter, and you can compare him to somebody like Earl Spence Jr., where he uses that jab and he keeps the pressure on you throughout the fight. And he comes out on the jab in his ninth round. And Hackett is just being really patient. I love the poise and patience with Hackett, man. It's beautiful to watch. He's in a really good body puncher. He's landed a lot of good body shots throughout this fight. So, him on his front foot a little bit. I see what I see, and lands two very good punches right there. Jaleel Hackett, man. Jaleel Hackett. You know, and so Dobson, Pistol Pete Dobson, he he called down to DC to try to get some intel on the young boy, and they say he haven't fought anybody yet. And at the press conference, they pretty much got into it pretty bad, and they really didn't seem to get along too much right there. So, but right now, it looks like Jaleel Hackett's in total control of the fight. If he wanted to, he could really coast these next two rounds, still win the fight convincingly. But I think that this is the young guy's going to keep the pressure on him. And oh man, they both exchanged. I don't think neither one of them landed really, really good. But Dobson lands a really good one out of the two. And now Dobson hits the body. Hackett returns fire, and they going back at it, back and forth at it pretty much. So this is a really good explosive fight, and they really getting it in, man. They really, really, really getting it in. So Dobson, man, is one of those guys, man, that he's a scrappy fighter, and this was his big chance. And I feel like he's getting outboxed right here, outworked by the younger man and Jaleel Hackett. Jaleel Hackett is going to be in the orange and black trunks, and Dobson is going to be in the white trunks with the red and blue trim. And I mean, if I'm Dobson, I'm in his corner, I'm telling him he needs a knockout, or he might as well don't even go out for the 10th round. Like, he needs to have that mentality. Oh, that looked like it was a low blow. I believe Harvey Doc told him to keep the glove up a little bit. And so Hackett is just moving really well, boxing really well right now, moving around, hitting the spots he's supposed to hit. And Jaleel, of course, moving around still really well. Now Dobson's on the front foot a little bit, and Jaleel's fighting off the back foot, which, you get the chance to see this kid's skills, and I think he's trying to display a little bit that he has what it takes. He's and Hackett, and Dobson tries to keep him in the headlock, but Hackett is kind of a big guy, strong guy. I believe he's 5'11", and Dobson is 5'10", if I'm not mistaken. Okay, and they both land two good punches, and Dobson definitely comes in, lands a couple shots. So that's a good round right there. If you're going to give any round to Dobson, it might be this round, because that was a very competitive round. It was a very, very competitive round. In the back, we got these headliners right here. We got our man, my bad. Let me point to him. Jaron Boots Ennis right here. We got David Avanesyan right here, man. And Avanesyan's biggest fight was, unfortunately, a loss to Terrence Bud Crawford. But he gave Bud fits in that fight, depending on how you look at it. So seeing Bud have some issues, have some problems in the ring, not necessarily problems, because I feel like Bud's one of those fighters that gets out there, he learns the fighter, he coasts through the first couple rounds so he can learn what they do and get the timing down, and then he kind of switches it on and turns it on whenever it's necessary. So early success against Bud Crawford isn't the same level of success that you would have, with certain fighters. Like a guy like Jaleel Hackett, like this fight, came out been striking since the first round. We have entered now into the final round of this 10-round bout with Jaleel Hackett and Pistol Pete Dobson. And they come out firing, man. They meet at the center of the ring. Hackett lands a really good body shot right there. Dobson is trying to use the jab. And he goes for a flurry. It doesn't look like he lands anything, Dobson. And Hackett still moving very well, feinting very well, giving very good feints, and very much into this fight still. Oh man, Hackett lands a very, very, very good check hook. Dobson returns fire. Dobson lands a really good power jab. Jaleel Hackett returns fire with a good three-piece combo. And they're in the clinch a little bit. Hackett is making sure that he's keeping that outside hand active by landing a couple little body shots in the clinch. And oh man, Hackett just lands a very good left hand. And Dobson returns with fighting inside. These guys are warriors. They are fighting inside. They are going to the I mean, they going to the edge right now, and you could tell Dobson isn't scared. But right now, Dobson's been outclassed. He's been outboxed to me in this whole fight, and so right now he needs a knockout. And Jaleel Hackett is entertaining it a little bit, but he's letting them know I got a chin. I'm gonna stand here and fight with you. I'm not running. I'm not. He's not moving backwards hardly at all. He only moved back, I think, just to show that he can do it. And so, ooh, that's a very good left hand by Jaleel Hackett, and Dobson clinches up. Dobson looks like he's a bit hurt, but he goes to the body stab jab and he misses, and Hackett returns but misses as well. Back into the clinch. I think Dobson is hurt. I think Jaleel Hackett should be going a little more aggressive, but Dobson stays on that front foot, more moving towards Hackett. And I mean, good three-piece combo by Hackett. Hackett lands a really good jab. Dobson returns five, but then goes into the clinch. And maybe he landed that punch. Maybe not. It looked like it could have been blocked. So Hackett's on that front foot, just moving very well, moving very well. And it looks like it's some loose tape on Hackett's glove, and Harvey Doc's going to tape it up. We're going to take him to the corner and a timeout. There's 36 seconds left in this 10th round. This is the last round of the fight. And Hackett is right back on Dobson. Right back on Dobson, looking like he's trying to finish the show for real. He don't look like he's trying to give it to the judges and let the judges decide. Hackett lands a very good overhand right. Hackett lands a really good combo, man. Hackett is trying to close the show with the right way. And lands a good three-piece combo. Dobson returns, but didn't really get a chance to land much. Hackett's defense has been great here, and I'm not saying this defense is bad, but wow, that is a like four-piece combo. Hackett is just finishing the show the way he's supposed to. Shout out to the young boy from the South Side. You hear me? Southeast DC's own Jaleel Hackett. And he jumping up on the ropes to show that he the man. He's showing he the man. Jaleel Hackett, man. Jaleel Hackett, got to give a shout out to that young fella, man. That young fella, pretty much dominated, I think, pretty much dominated this fight. I, you know, right now, I, looking at my scorecard, I have him pitching a shutout. If you're going to give any round specifically to Dobson, in my opinion, you might can give him the 10th round. Excuse me, the ninth round. You might can give him the ninth round. I feel like Jaleel Hackett had a 10-8 round in the fourth round. That might have been his best round of this fight. So, I mean, he pretty much dominated that round. I don't think it's close. I don't think the judge is going to have to decide very long. I think they're going to bring him to the center of the ring pretty soon to say, okay, Jaleel Hackett, you know, out of it being 100, I got Jaleel Hackett having 100 right now. Just to be honest, man. And we live here on the Nation Network.
Yes, indeed. I feel the same way though. I feel the same way. I think, man, I don't know, man. He kind of crushed that dude.
Man, he dominated Dobson, man. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah,
A lot of trash
yeah.
talk, and Dobson don't have no claim to fame in this situation. Like I said, you could have gave him maybe one round. Oh man, my man Kenny Ellis is over there with Jaleel Hackett. Okay, shout out to Kenny Ellis, which is Javante Tank Davis's trainer. Co-trainer with Calvin Ford. It does look like Jaleel Hackett is cut under the eye. I don't know how much that's going to affect the ruling in this situation. And it looks like they are going to the scorecards. They're about to do this quick announcement. I mean, hey, and we do want to do a quick promo shot. So Bud Crawford, shout out to Bud Crawford. He is back on August 3rd against Madrimov. So that's a big fight, man. Y'all gonna have to tune in with us for that one, man. Y'all got to be with us for that one.
Yes,
That's
indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
you know, and this has been a pretty crazy situation. Where Earl Spence was supposed to rematch Bud, and it didn't happen, and so that prolonged the whole situation. Uh, Shout out to Earl Spence because I think he fights in November, if I'm not mistaken. That's going to be against Sebastian. But we're going to the scorecards now, and here we go. Scorecards, 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 score totals. Score the fight. Score the fight. Score the fight. 97 93, 96 94. All three in for the winner. You know, the new NNA Continental Jaleel. I even disagree with the scorecards. I think the scorecards was bad. Jaleel Hackett does advance to 9-0, 7 knockouts. Nobody has knocked Dobson out in his career. Dobson just continues on to get through them fights where you can't knock the guy out. So Jaleel Hackett 9-0, 7 knockouts, man. Washington, D.C.'s own, Southeast's own Jaleel Hackett. Shout out to him, man. And I'm proud that we could have got the end of this fight on Score the Fight for this big Boots and David Avanesyan fight, man. And it's been a pretty good fight, man. But if you look at that fight and you see Jaleel Hackett's punch placement, man, you look at his patience, you look at the poise, you look at the jab when he was able to double and triple it up. When you look at all of these skill sets of this young fella right here, man, you have something that could potentially be special. He has a very good brick hand with the right hand, man. I mean, very quick fighter, very good punch placement. I mean, this is a really special fighter if he continues to work. Being a young guy, he's already a explosive young guy. He's already got a lot of knockouts. He's not a guy that looks for the knockout though. He's a boxer, and so he'll box you to that knockout. So shout out to Jaleel, you know, and shout out to Kenny Ellis, of course, for continuing to work with the people in this area, man. Because got a lot of respect for them Baltimore dudes out there. They love the city. They come show love to the city. So shout out to Kenny Ellis, of course. Shout out to Calvin Ford, So total punches landed 200 out of 700. That's 29% for Jaleel Hackett. 127 out of 447 for Peter Dobson. That's a 28%. But I mean, if you look at it, I mean, that's 73 more punches landed for Jaleel Hackett and a lot more thrown. I would like to see him get a lot more accurate in that sentiment, but I feel like Peter Dobson had a really good game plan, and a lot of those thrown was probably jabs, check jabs, punch placement jabs. So I think that the percent could have been a little bit better, but shout out to Jaleel Hackett. I want him to continue to advance and to grow in the sport of boxing. So I'm going to give any good advice that I can give. Last week we had Shakur Stevenson on, not on our broadcast, but on the fight. We broadcast this fight, and to do that, Shakur has gotten he's gotten a lot of slack lately for the situation after the fight. I mean, a lot of people felt like Shakur should have been able to stop his opponent, Hardatunian, and unfortunately for him, he was not able to stop Hardatunian. I mean, Hardatunian is a good boxer, so I don't know why people just expect another good boxer to just stop some guy. But I mean, I felt like Shakur Stevenson did have a really good dominant performance. I don't really feel like he lost too many rounds. I feel like, if you looked at it as a shutout, you could have, or you could have looked at it as some of those swing rounds that you would have gave to Hardatunian, maybe 3 of those rounds or whatever the case may be. I feel like Hardatunian did give Shakur a bit of problems though. I feel like Shakur, you need to go back to the drawing board to see how to be a better closer. You're around one of the best closers in the business in Bud Crawford. And I feel like that's one thing that you can learn from him, and his experience in closing the fights. Bro, you still with us? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah. I'm just saying, we gonna live on the Nature Network, man. We're gonna be bringing you a lot of different stuff coming up soon. We're gonna be giving you DC's own Major Mondays, so we're gonna be talking about a lot of the stuff, not just going on with your Redskins, but we're gonna be talking about stuff that's going on in all of DC sports, man. So we're gonna have some Mystics news, we're gonna have some Wizards news, we're gonna have some Capitals news, we're gonna have some Nationals news, and of course, we still gonna give you all of the Redskin news that you need to hear live here on the Nature Network. So
Absolutely.
I want y'all to tune in for those Major Mondays, for those Workhorse Wednesdays. I want you to tune in as much as you can, because this is a big thing right here. And y'all guys gonna enjoy. Y'all really gonna enjoy some of the programming we gonna be able to bring to y'all. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
definitely. So I mean, realistically though, bro. Uh, I don't know. Is this your first time watching Boots live?
Live, yeah,
Yeah,
live, yeah.
yeah. So,
Yep. No,
um,
let me say no. Yeah, this is the first live. Yep.
yeah. So I've been following Boots Tennis for the last couple of years now. Um, I think that he's one of the most talented boxers in the sport of boxing. I believe he should be on the pound top 10 list. I think the one thing that Boots is missing is the big fights. I mean, he was in a weight division with Bud Crawford, with Earl Spence, but those guys were kind of focused on the belts, you know? And if you're focused on the belts and Boots don't have a belt, regardless of how much we enjoy his skill and know what he can do, you won't be able to get those fights. Boots is still a young guy. He still can definitely go into this situation being a dominant, 147-pound fighter. Jaleel Hackett was just fighting at 147 pounds. So maybe Boots figures something out. I don't know. But
Let me
they
let me
have,
say this. From
yeah,
the film that I've watched on Boots, and from some of the replays I've watched, I think he's next level. I think he has.
okay,
He's one of the ones with really strong potential to take it to
yeah,
the next level. To me, he's one of the ones that have it right there. He's right on the cusp of being right there. To me, let's say I think Tank is one right now. I think Tank is the
yeah,
number one fighter right now for me. Everybody can feel the way they feel. For me, it's Tank. Bud Crawford. Sorry, it's Bud Crawford first, then Tank, right? Tank next. No, sorry, Bud Crawford, then Canelo, then maybe Tank, right? So you got
yeah.
that, and then Boots Ennis is right up in there, creeping around in that little spot. You know what I'm saying for me right now. So
Okay,
it's
I can
yeah,
respect that. I mean, I'm
right
gonna
on the
say this. I'm gonna say this. A lot of Americans, especially Black Americans, I'm gonna call us out on this one. We don't get a chance to watch Naoya in a way, you know. As a boxing analyst at this point, I watch a lot of different fighters, man. I think Inoue is a top pound for pound fighter. Uh, I think Inoue just flies under the radar because he fights in Japan, and fighting in Japan at 2 o'clock during a Saturday, or he
right,
doesn't necessarily fight on an American schedule, you
right.
know, and so
But he has
because
an unorthodox. I've seen him. He got an unorthodox style though.
who Inoue?
Yeah,
Oh man, Inoue a beast, man. Inoue a
yeah.
beast, man.
It's unorthodox. It's like weird. You know
Nah,
what
not
I'm
really. I don't think so, man. I think Inoue got that style that it's just different, man. It's power, it's grace, it's good footwork. He reminds me of a power punching Loma almost, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, but he does have a he got. Hey, I'm gonna be real. He fight like a black dude a little bit too, though. You know what I mean? It's like a mixture of the Asian dude, because you know black dudes got the swag. They got a different bop when it comes to they, you know. And I feel
Yeah.
like Inoue got that. You know, I don't know what it is. Inoue got it though. Uh, I think Inoue is one of the best fighters in the world right now. I feel like if he stays at 126, I mean, he's at 122, but if he stays at like 122, maybe 126, I don't know how many people can actually beat him. If he goes and chases 130, he might be chasing Tank Davis. And Tank ain't going over, he's not fighting at 2 o'clock on a Wednesday in Japan. You know what I mean? Ro, you sound like you muted. I don't know if I'm getting you or what. Yeah, it
No,
looked like you.
I'm
Yeah,
listening. I was muted. Yeah, yeah, I'm hearing you. I was listening. I'm muted.
yeah. Nah, I thought you was responding because it looked like. Okay,
Oh no,
cool.
I'm over here eating actually, eating some chicken.
All right, my bad, my bad, my bad, my bad. Yeah, yeah, my bad, my bad. Uh, but I mean, right now, this is an amazing event. You know, shout out to Eddie Hearn for continuing to put on really good fights. Um, because I think that the sport of boxing needs some guys that really care about making good matches. You know, I think that that's very important. That it is very important that they make big matches in boxing. That they continue to make the best matches available. That they continue to put two and two together and make four, and not, you know, this fighter don't want to fight this fighter. They across the street from this fighter and all of that. You know, so shout out to the guy to that guy Eddie Hearn, man. Eddie Hearn is a big player in a lot of the guys fighting the right guys, you know. So uh right now though, like I said, we got Boots, man. We got David Avanesyan. Boots is a knockout artist, man. And this is a pleasure to even bring you Boots. Uh the top 10, I mean excuse me, 11 through 20, and we're going to count down from 20 to 11. I mean, yeah, we're going to count down from 20 to 1, will be started to be posted on Twitter/X today. So go to Score the Fight, on Twitter, and Score the Fight NN at Twitter, go look at that list, because we're going to start tonight, and we are going to be posting randomly throughout this next 2 weeks, so we can show you guys that we're going to be active in the Twitterverse. So you guys do that. You guys check out Studio Runners Radio, YouTube. You guys go subscribe, because we do need your subscriptions. We do need your likes. We would love your comments. You know what I mean? So I'm going to say this. We would love you guys to jump on board on this Nature Network, so we can continue to bring you guys the top stuff, the top dog stuff, the underground stuff, the stuff that people ain't going to talk about. We want to bring you guys all of the sports news and relative news. Shout out to the Washington Wizards. Oh yeah, I'm a big Wizards fan, so shout out to them for winning their first summer league game. That's what we do. Shout out to the new guys, Bub Currington. Shout out to Saw, of course. So right now,
Definitely, definitely.
yes. And also, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this now, but we're going to be talking about this on Major Mondays. I guarantee we're going to talk about this on Major Mondays. But Mike Sandstrill is working with our own legend, Daryl Green.
Okay, okay, okay. That's
Yeah.
big.
Yes. So I'm trying to. I don't. If you haven't heard the news and I just broke that news to you, you need to tune in for what the fellas got to say on Monday. All right, the fellas gonna have a whole lot to say about this situation. Okay, so shout out to Mike Sandstrill, and He's
That's
going
him.
to learn some real tricks of the trade about the cornerback position, especially a guy his size. Daryl Green is a guy that played at a super high level, at a Pro Bowl level, at his size. So this going to be amazing. Um,
Yeah, for those that don't know, man, Daryl Green, day one, literally day one, he was the best player on the field. He was the best player on the field. If anybody think I'm go back and watch that 1983 season of the Redskins and watch Daryl Green as a rookie, man. Daryl Green, day one, was the best player on the field. Like how Sean Taylor was, kinda. That was Daryl Green. But
yeah.
it's crazy to see that with a guy that size. So I just want to chime in and give him that.
Oh yeah, nah, for sure, for sure. I wanted to break a little bit of news on some of our DC fronts. So Jaleel Hackett won tonight, so that's a big win for Washington DC. So shout out to him. You know what I mean? To me, dominant performance. Some of those scorecards did not even show how dominant he was. I felt like they made it seem like it was closer than what it was, but I feel like Hackett was just dominating the fight. I don't know what they was looking at as far as them judges, but over here, we had Jaleel just dominating, and you got these guys that want to fight the best guys, right? Bro, if you were a trainer or a coach, um, and you had a young guy, a 10-0 guy, a 8-0, a 9-0 guy, and you wanted to take him to the next level, right? Do you be patient with him and you say, I'm gonna work his way up to those big fights? Or do you say, hey, I got this prospect, he's a good fighter, let's throw him out there and let's see if he can swim? Oh, I believe he stepped away. Okay. Well, I asked him that when he come back. We are looking at Jaron Boots Ennis, man. And when I mean Boots, you look at Boots being the guy. When you look at Boots being the guy in 147, I mean, it's his division to lose, in my opinion. You know, Jerron Boots Ennis right now, 147-pound rankings for the zone. He is 31-0, 28 KOs. Stanionis would be the next number two, 15-0, 9 KOs. Mario Barrios would be number three, who would be 29-2 with 18 KOs. Brian Norman Jr. would be number four, and that is 26-0 with 20 KOs. Mario Barrios' two losses is to very good competition. Keith Thurman, I believe, and of course Javante Tank Davis, that had that devastating knockout of Mario Barrios. And now, to me, Boots Ennis is the guy at 147. It's no other people, in my opinion. I like Stanionis. I think Stanionis is a really good fighter. I don't think he's on the level of a Boots Ennis. You know, I don't think he's even close to the level of a Boots Ennis. Boots Ennis is good. Boots Ennis has all of the tools. He uses his left hand, his right hand. He beats people up. He goes to the body. He can, like he literally can go in slow mo. Like that last fight against Roman Vila. I mean, literally slow mo. Boom, jab, duck, uppercut, boom. Like just sweet. He is the elite competition at 147. I'm kind of sad that I don't know if I see that Bud Crawford versus Boots Ennis, and if we do see it, it may be at 154. But for Bud to even fight Boots Ennis at 154, he would have to then go up there and get a belt. I don't feel like Bud is going to fight unless it's a belt involved right now, And we're going to look at the tail of the tape. Jaron Boots Ennis is 27 years of age, 5'10". He weighed in at 146.4 pounds. Then you got David Avanesyan is 5'8". He weighed in at 147 pounds. David Avanesyan is 34-1 with 18 KOs. Jaron Boots Ennis, of course, is 31-0 with 28 8 KOs. And I mean, when you look at Jaron Ennis's record, it is like immaculate. You know, the only person that is sporting, I think, a record that is, well, there's a couple people sporting a similar record. You know, uh David Benavidez. I believe he's 29 and 0, 24 KOs. You got, of course, you got Gervonta Tank Davis, who has only went to the distance twice. You know, everything, all the other, I believe, 27 fights have been KOs. You know, and we are excited to bring you Jaron Boots Ennis. We are excited to bring you this Jaron Boots Ennis versus David Avanesyan fight. It is at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. You know, and I'm just keeping you guys updated and informed. This is a score to fight that I wanted to be able to bring to you guys and give you guys the right element. You know, I wanted to give you guys some of the best boxing information, some of the best boxing news. You see these two guys right here, and you know, these guys are elite level guys, okay? These are not your run of the mill fighters. You know, these are not your guys that just gonna sit there and get beat up. These are the guys that's gonna represent boxing at the highest level of it. Okay. Okay. So, you know, shout out to Jaron Boots and this man. Um, I'm proud that he's getting this big fight because this big fight means a lot, in my opinion. This big fight he deserves because he's put in the work, and a lot of guys they want to they want a fairy tale of situation. They don't want to put in the work. You know, they have the national anthem going wrong right now. You know, and so we're gonna respect that the national anthems are of each country. You know, I mean, this is a big moment. So just tuning you guys in. I want you guys, excuse me, I want you guys to go on Twitter right now and go join us. Okay? And when I mean join us, I mean join us. Okay? We are a sports network that brings you the best in right now boxing, because we doing our boxing thing right now. So we do the best in boxing. We do worldwide boxing. But we bring you Washington sports on the Studio Runners radio network, you know, the Nature Show, the Nature Network. You know, we gonna bring you just more and more and more and more. And I want you guys to be there for every single moment of the more. Okay? It is our pleasure to bring you guys the most and top, the best, excuse me. It's our pleasure to give you guys the best news in sports entertainment. And I mean, it's our pleasure to bring you fights like this, the fights that everybody don't know about. You know, we try to bring you guys fights at least 3 times a month. You know, and depending on certain months, we will give you a fight every week. Okay, we're gonna be off next week. You know, we intended on doing the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight. Jake Paul is fighting, however, and Mike Tyson had to drop out of that fight because of health risk. Postpone that fight because of health issues. He had a bit of an issue on the plane where he felt dizzy, whatever. And I respect him not going into a fight when he's not mentally or physically 100%. So shout out to Mike Tyson for that. You know, shout out to everybody that's been tuning in with us and rocking with us. You know, I want to thank you guys because you guys have been a pleasure to bring you the best in sports. It's been a pleasure to give you guys some of the elite, elite boxing news, elite boxing, you know, everything. It's been a pleasure. Okay. So, you know, I'm being 100 when I come and I say this is the real deal. We are the real deal here on the Sports Network. You know, I'm giving you the game. We're giving y'all the 100% game. Okay. So score the fight, man. And Shakur Stevenson is shown from last week. And you know, I wanted to spotlight and talk a little bit about Shakur Stevenson just in case you guys don't know who he is. You know, he is the WBC lightweight champion. You know what I mean? And so Last week we brought you his fight. We want you guys to go and revisit that fight. We want you guys to go rewatch some of these amazing fights that we brought you guys. We want you guys to really, really hone in and key in on this. Okay? Right now, our next listed fight is the Bud Crawford fight. So we're gonna be off for a couple weeks, you know. And in this couple weeks, we're gonna be bringing y'all some score to fight content. Okay. Um, Pretty soon we're gonna do our pound for pound show in July, and we will do one earlier in August, but we're gonna let July kind of play out because August is what it is. And David Avanesyan is coming out. He got that bounce to him. He jumping around. He giving that energy. Okay, so he's not scared. It's not a guy. Avanesyan right here is not a guy that is going to be scared. This is not a face of a guy that's going to be scared to go toe to toe with Jaron Ennis. This guy is the boogeyman. Okay, this guy is the boogeyman right here. If y'all don't know what a boogeyman is, that's the guy that don't nobody want to see. Everybody going to avoid that guy as much as they can. So I'm proud to bring you this David Avanesyan fight. I'm proud to bring you the headliner, the A side, Jaron Ennis, because these are two really good boxers. David Avanesyan is coming to his last bout was December 20th, 2023, where he defeated Serge Armando. Okay. So he is coming off of a win. He's not coming off of a loss. The fight before that was the Bud fight. So he's not coming off a loss, coming off a win. And that's always a big thing in boxing. You love to see fighters coming in off of their, if they call them tune-up fights or whatever the case may be, you want to call it, you love to see them coming in off a win. You don't want to see them coming in off of a loss because then it's asterisks on the records. And, that's all weird. So Boots, this is the guy, okay? Philadelphia's own. He get to fight at home. This is his crowd. The people are there to see Boots. I'm gonna be real. Some other fighters, Hackett probably had some people from DC, and eventually we're gonna be bringing you fights in that space. But until we get to that space where we bringing you fights there, I love to just get you guys to score the fight, man. I love being at home where I could watch the action. I could see who really slipped, who really actually landing those jabs, who actually, boom, 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 combos, who actually landing them body shots, who hook to the air. I like to see all of that. And so a lot of times when you are in a seat, you don't get to see every angle the way that they're going to bring it to you via TV. And so shout out to the DAZN Network for even bringing this out. Shout out to Jaron Ennis. Oh, yeah, Bozy Ennis, man. The big dog, Jaron Ennis' father, Bozy. You got Stephen Fulton coming out holding the belt. That's that IBF. That's that red belt, you know. And that IBF championship actually was stripped from Terrence Bud Crawford. I mean, he was trying to make the fight with Spence, and I think that fight was supposed to. I think Bud wanted to fight back at 147 for all of the belts, and Spence kind of wanted to fight at 154, which makes sense for Spence because he's like, I just fought at 147 and I lost, so I'm not going to go back and do the same thing. Bud's like, I won, so I am going to go back and do the same thing. And I think that that's where you got to disconnect. So now they both went up to 54 and they could both obtain belts, So if Bud handles business against Madrimov and Spence handles business against Fundora, then you have them more than likely meeting up to unify, you know? So we'll see. I believe both of these guys want to be undisputed champions. Earl Spence's goal was to be undisputed champion. I know Terrence Bud Crawford's goal was to be multi-time undisputed champion because he's already been undisputed. at 140. He was able to do it at 147. So he's done it twice, and he's looking to do it a third time. So I'm going to cut that right now. We're going to let Jaron Boots Ennis come to the ring. You know, you know, he's the guy. He got a little bop, got a little dance going on. So shout out to Boots. Um, I know I'm gonna seem a little biased in this situation. Boots is one of my favorite fighters right now. I do think he's a top 10 pound for pound guy. I mean, I think his record, alone with 28 knockouts out of 31 fights would show that he's one of the top guys, at least in his weight division. Him having a belt, I think, represents that as well. He has the only belt that is available in the 147-pound division outside of Terrence Bud Crawford being a champion in recess with the other WBO, WBC, and WBA. The WBO seems to love Bud Crawford and they respect Bud Crawford, and I've seen what they've done as far as holding Bud Crawford down like they should have, because he's a great champion. Uh, but certain people like the IBF, they're a little bit quicker to strip. And there's no knock on IBF. I don't have a horse in the race whenever it comes to these sanctioning bodies. So Jaron Boots Ennis' last bout was July 8th, over a year ago, which was a knockout victory in round 10 against Roma Vila. Okay? Over a year ago. I mean, at this point, well, you could say exactly a year ago if you want to go there. But to me, over 365 days. And so this is going to be a very, very big fight. This is going to be what it is. And I'm really proud to bring this to you on Score the Fight. You know, um, Shout out to my guys, man, before I go any further, because this is the main event. Shout out to ETA Money Roll, of course. Shout out to Big Son, of course. And shout out to my man, Uptown Vito, because these are the guys that not only give you the real, but they investigate themselves. They put in the hard work themselves. They actually show up to those things, putting in all of the work that they can. So shout out to my guys, man. This week I'm holding it down, and I'm going to hold it down maybe some other weeks. Some weeks I'll be in, in a nice facility. Some weeks I'll be with the guys. Some weeks I'll be solo. Some weeks I'll be offset with some other people. So I just want to give you guys just different looks and keep you guys interested. So Dave Barlow, Eric Marskansky, I don't know if I said that right, but Robin Taylor are the judges, and so for the referee, we have Eric Dolly, and so I guess, are you ready? Are you ready? The stage is set. You hear me? The stage is set. You hear me? You know it. You know it. We are here. The time is now, man. The time is now. The time is, it has, man. It has. Are you ready? Are you live? Are you watching this with us? I hope you are. I hope you are. I hope you are watching this. I hope you are feeling this energy. Starts now. Okay. This is Score the Fight, live on the Nation Network. Score the Fight. Score the Fight. You hear me? Now we don't want to get banned or nothing right there, so I ain't gonna give y'all too much. But like I said, David Avanesyan versus Jaron Boots Ennis. He's fighting out of Newark, Nottingham, United Kingdom. That is David Avanesyan. And Jaron Boots Ennis is fighting, of course, out of where they're fighting at now, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. They are fighting at the Wells Fargo Center. It is over 10,000 people in attendance. So this is a big fight, Bet Online sponsored, you know. Jaron. Jaron Boots Ennis. I don't see this going the distance. I'ma just tell this to y'all live. I didn't put in my bet today. I feel I feel really bad that I missed my bet. Pretty sad about that. My bet would have been, and just in case y'all guys want to go throw in a bet just right before it start, it's Jaron Boots Ennis by KO or TKO. That's the best bet on the board. I don't know if Boots can do what Bud did. I know he's going out there to knock him out, though. I know that. I know that Jaron Boots Ennis is going out there to put punishment on David Avanesyan. I know that. I know that. You know. So they touched him up. They get to the corner. You know what it is. You know what it is. Boots Ennis. Jaron Boots Ennis. And David Avanesyan. You know. David Avanesyan, man. So this is I think one of maybe our fifth or sixth fight here, scored a fight. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in. And the bell rings. Avanesyan comes out, kind of meets Boots in the middle of the ring. Boots goes downstairs with the stab jab a couple times. He is doubling up on his jab, boxing beautifully, man. Boots is in the white and blue denim, and David Avanesyan is in the black trunks with red and white trim. Oh, man, Avanesyan got tripped up there. I don't think he was hurt. Maybe his footwork tangled a little bit. And I mean, Boots is staying active, staying on that front foot and not allowing, just smothering Avanesyan with punches. Boots is very calm, collective, using his jab very well this first round. Oh, Avanesyan goes for a bomb. And that was a left hand. And it looked like it could have slightly landed, but it didn't knock him out. It's, knock him down, knock him back, and then. So Avanesyan has a very weird style, very close high guard, sort of like this. And of course, Ennis has that low guard, kind of inviting people in to get punished, if you will. Avanesyan is now on the front foot, not necessarily moving Boots back. Boots has just been a lot more active in this round. David Avanesyan gets hit to the body. It's another body shot by Boots that lands. Avanesyan tries to return fire where, it's not really doing too much. I don't feel like Avanesyan has landed solidly, but maybe one punch. I feel like Boots has dominated this first, rounds, just being more active. Nobody's really landing any shots. They clinch up. Avanesyan, seems to say something to the ref and looks the other way. It is 1 minute, 8 seconds left in this first round, and it looks like Avanesyan cannot take the punching power of Boots. I mean, I feel like Boots has moved him at least on 2 or 3 of these punches in this first round. It's 55 seconds left, and that is a low blow. Low blow, and Avanesyan is on the ground, agonizing in pain, and he has up to 5 minutes for this. And I mean, Avanesyan is on the ground in pain. Avanesyan kind of hooked Boots' head. Boots was kind of going for a body shot, but when Avanesyan hooked his head, he was not able to come up. And he definitely caught him with a low body shot. And Boots tried to hold him up. Avanesyan's taking his time, man. And after getting hit in the nuts like that, you would too. I'm gonna be real. You would too. Take your time, Avanesyan. Breathe, man. There's 48 seconds left in this first round. Boots Ennis versus David Avanesyan. And Boots is sitting there shaking his head, a little upset. Boots let the man take his time, man. You hit that man in his nuts, man. It's an accident. It was clearly an accident. He got hooked around the head, so with his head being down, he could not, bring up and hit them with the body punch like he's used to. The punch was already coming. There's no way to really stop it. And because Avanesyan kind of had Boots hooked behind his head, it is what it is, though. It is what it is. And Avanesyan's to his feet, breathing well. I guess he's going to take the whole 4 minutes if he can. Thank you. Yeah. So, here we go, man. Jaron Boots Ennis, David Avanesyan, man. Hey, Boots, if you ain't like that, you better make quick work of me. You better not hit him with no more low blows because they're going to take a point from you, bruh. You know, it wasn't your fault, but they will. Now Boots seemed to be a little upset turning it on in this first round. Avanesyan hooked his head again and caught him on a shot leaving out. I don't think Boots going to like that too much. After this first round, though, I feel like Boots been a lot more active. A three-punch combo all blocked by David Avanesyan. And I think that Boots might want to go around the guard. Oh, Avanesyan double punches Boots. Lands two good punches. Avanesyan is working in the corner. That was probably his best moment of that first round. And, they're going at it. Avanesyan, that was a pretty good first round with the exception of the low blow, man. It was a lot longer than what was expected, man. So, so Derek Ennis, of course, Bozy Ennis is the top guy. Murray Color is his cut man, Ennis. And Sean Lewis will be the assistant trainer. I'm going to give that first round to Boots. Boots was a lot more active, just way more active than Avanesyan. I feel like Avanesyan had a really, really, really good uh, end of the round where he had a little flurry. And of course, Boots is standing up on the corner. Boots landed a really good jab that, man, knocked Avanesyan back. That he did not get knocked back by that jab. That wasn't a trip up like I thought it was. That was a jab that landed solidly, and then showing the highlights in this quick break, and we're back at it. So Boots comes out with a double jab. Avanesyan is trying to get on that front foot, trying to find a way around the reach of Jaron Boots Ennis. Jaron Boots Ennis is boxing beautifully, boxing very, very beautifully. And right now, Jaron Boots Ennis is fighting orthodox. He likes to switch it up. So right now, you might see one thing, you might see the next thing the next round. And excuse me, he's fighting southpaw right now. So they clinch up. Avanesyan is throwing punches in the clinch. Boots start throwing punches in the clinch. And it looked like Boots is hurting Avanesyan's body with them punches in the clinch. You want to fight that way, Boots will fight that way with you. And that's the one thing about Boots. He's a fighter that loves to fight, and he lands a very two punch combo. And it looked like Boots trying to end the night early, man. Boots coming out from power right now, just going through. And Avanesyan is fighting back, but Avanesyan is not going to be able to take this for 12 rounds. Oh, good. Oh, man. Avanesyan lands a really, really, really good right hand and then lands another good right hand. Avanesyan's landed pretty well in this round right here. Avanesyan's having his moments, man. And that's his second warning for the low blow for Boots. Boots was going for a stab jab to the body, and it hit a little low, so not really a low blow, though. And Avanesyan is keeping a good tight guard. And what Boots is going to have to do in Avanesyan's guard is start hitting on the arms, hit on the shoulders. Avanesyan is putting in some good work in this round, man. Oh, Avanesyan hits him again. Boots laughs it off. Avanesyan is holding in the clinch a little bit, but he's getting his clinch work off. And Avanesyan might have been a little better for fighting Bud, Oh, Avanesyan lands a really good response to Boots' right hand with a good left hand with a good right hand of his own, and they're going at it. This is a fight. This is a real fight, toe to toe, blow for blow. And Boots look. Boots say, "Ah, you want to do this? You want to do this? I'm gonna do it with you." Gloves up, boom, next to you, and starting to punish, starting to hit. Avanesyan is definitely taking the worst end of this. Definitely taking the worst end of this. Boots is warned for pushing the head down after the clinch, and he lands a really good looping left hand that gets around the guard. Avanesyan goes for a 1-2 misses, but lands in the clinch. Avanesyan's going to have to make it dirty. It looks like that's what he's doing. He's not trying to box, but he's trying to make it dirty, and that's time. That was a really good round right there. That was a really, really good round of boxing. Um, I'm gonna give that. Okay, excuse me. The trainers, Carl Greaves for Avanesyan, Alan Levy, excuse me, as the cut man, and Eric Tay Mirzov, if I'm not mistaken. That's how you pronounce that. His assistant manager in the corner. You know, and Avanesyan, they're trying to tell Avanesyan to go or loop around, keep his body tight. So I'm assuming that he cannot be hit. What you mean by keeping the body tight? Let me move back a little bit. Is you want to do this? You will keep that body tight to where it's no place to actually land a shot. You know, my belt line will be right here, but my elbows are touching almost the belt line. So that's what you want to do. High guard, belt line like this, and keeping that tight. And Madrimov is doing a really good job of it. Boots comes out in his third round jabbing, and Boots lands a really good shot to the body after a 2-punch combo. It's a 3-punch jab straight up. Avanesyan goes around with a looping right hand right now through punches through two landed. And this is landed 48 of 132, 36%. And Avanesyan is 20 of 87. That's a 23% connect rating. And those through the first two rounds. Uh, Avanesyan lands a really good punch in the clinch. Boots lands really good punches in the clinch. They are going back and forth. And I mean, I feel like Boots is really getting the best of these exchanges right now. I feel like Boots is really much in control, and he's able to do whatever he wants to do in these situations. So I mean, right now, I just say that Boots is totally dominating, you know? He's a guy that you you want to see him fight, man. You want to see the best fight the best, and you want to see a guy like Boots Ennis just able to dominate his craft, dominate his opponents. Avanesyan is on that front foot, but Boots is using the jab beautifully. We are 134 left in this third round, and I mean Boots is landing kind of at will, and he's backing up Avanesyan. Avanesyan is punching on that back foot, but it looks like Boots is bullying a little bit. Boots is landing a couple of those body shots. They are really close, you know, close quarters. And Avanesyan tries to land coming out of that, but I'm feeling like Boots is just getting the best of these exchanges right now. They are both going to the body. Like whatever Avanesyan does, Boots does back. If he leans in like this, so does Boots. Go to body, so does Boots. I'm like Boots is almost mirroring him. And I mean, this is in a clinch. And I will say this, Boots, I felt like Avanesyan is really working in the clinch. He lands a good 1-2 on Boots against the ropes. Uh, and Boots is kind of inviting this type of work in. Boots lands a really good left hand, followed off by a counter by Avanesyan. Avanesyan comes back. They just close quarters fighting, head against head, throwing some bombs. And this is Avanesyan. This would benefit Avanesyan a little bit more than it will benefit Boots. Oh man, Boots just lands a really good uppercut through that guard, and Avanesyan is not hurt, but you know you could tell. Oh man, and both of those guys take some big bombs, but both of them miss. Avanesyan swings 1-2-1, and that's gonna be time. I mean, Avanesyan is having his moments, man. I feel like Avanesyan is coming in with a Very, very, very good game plan. Through the first two rounds, though, I mean, Boots beating Avanesyan, this third round is a little bit closer, though. I like this third round to be a swing round. You know, I'm going to say that was a swing round. I'm still giving it to Boots. So I still have Boots up 3-0, but that is a swing round if I've ever seen one. It's a close quarters fight. Avanesyan got hit with a really good 3-punch combo in that round. I mean, Boots lands the uppercut, then the left, then the right, then he lands another 2-punch combo right after that, where it's a hook and a body shot. And I mean, those three-punch combo, that's 5 punches right there without Avanesyan landing 6. You can look at it like that in that round. So that's why I said Avanesyan had his moments, but still giving that round to Boots Ennis. And this is the fourth round right here. And Avanesyan, Boots is fighting off the back foot, trying to invite Avanesyan. And oh man, and Boots lands a power jab, another 2 power jabs. He's able to land that power jab and even get through the guard of Avanesyan, even though his guard is a high guard. And I mean that's a salute to the hand speed and punch placement, because you twist it and get through the guard. That's a really beautiful thing. So it's a 1-2 from Avanesyan. One of them are blocked by Boots. It's another 1-2 in return. Now Boots is backing Avanesyan up, and now Avanesyan goes into a big shell, and oh man, Boots lands a really good sweeping hook behind the guard. Avanesyan is returning the fire. Uh, Avanesyan lands a jab, but they're close quarters, man, and they're going at it. It is 2 minutes left in this fourth round, and I mean, Jaron Boots Ennis is, putting on a show right now. Not dominating, but definitely winning this fight. I would say that it's close to domination because uh, Avanesyan hasn't been able to do much in this fight so far, but Boots has been doing his thing, and Boots fighting off that back foot on 139. Avanesyan goes for the gusto, but gets a uppercut landed on him, man. And this has just been a really good fourth round. I feel like Boots is boxing beautifully, and Boots is starting to get a lot more comfortable just in this set, and he got Avanesyan on that back foot, landing at will. And so when I see what Boots is doing, just just in just in the ring, man, right now, you gotta be impressed. You gotta be impressed with what Boots is doing in the ring. And 44 seconds left in this fourth round. These guys are just head on head. I feel like Boots is landing a lot more, but I think Boots got to turn it up. It's time for him, looking at this is the fourth round. Gervonta Tank Davis put a lot of pressure on a lot of these fighters, especially the guys that knock people out, you know. Uh, but right now, I feel like Boots is fighting well. 24 seconds left in the fourth round. Boots lands. It's a 1-2 on the elbow. Not necessarily a one that lands. Boots lands a combo to the body. And Avanesyan is just still there in front of him. And now I told you, Boots is getting comfortable. He gives him a little of this, and when you see Boots start doing that, that means he warmed up. Boots has not sat down in the corner. That's his thing. He's not going to show you guys that he's tired. He's going to stand up, keep the legs good, I believe. Bozy Ennis, man, is Boots' trainer, man, and Bozy is one of the guys, man, one of the best guys in boxing right now. When you're talking about great trainers, they say Bozy's dungeon is where it's at. You go up there, you get to work. It ain't none of them guys ducking no sparring rack. It ain't none of them guys ducking no type of rack, So in that last round, I mean, you had Boots have a held on that belt line again, man. But he got around that guard on that first punch. And what he's doing is he's sweeping around the guard and landing. He isn't maybe landing solidly, but he's landing around that guard, and it's really moving David Avanesyan back. You could see the impact on those punches. Round 5 right now. I got Boots up 4 rounds. I mean, yeah, 4 rounds to none. David Avanesyan lands, but now it looks like Boots is hunting. Oh, Boots goes for a big punch and misses, and Avanesyan gives him this. Oh man, Avanesyan gives him the wildest. Oh man, and Avanesyan comes back and lands 2 good shots and lands a good uppercut. Okay, and Boots starting to show off on that corner a little bit after he got a couple punches landed on him. Uh, Avanesyan is fighting very awkwardly, man. It's hard to even get a good. Oh, he goes around the guard and lands. Oh, and Avanesyan lands, and he slips and falls. So through punches, through 4, you got Ennis landed 92 out of 179, and Avanesyan only landed 52 punches so far. He's almost doubled up on the punches over Avanesyan, and so Avanesyan right now is just head to head, man, mano y mano. This is the 5th round. It's 145 left in this 5th round, and Ennis lands a couple good punches to the body while moving backwards. You know, and Avanesyan is trying to bully him, push him a little bit in the corner, and see if he could just lay his body on him. And Avanesyan gets hit in the clutch, and he returns fire. And now he looked like he's going on the offense a little bit, but Boots is able to withstand these flurries that Avanesyan has been throwing, and there hasn't been anything significant that. So, whoa. Oh, Avanesyan goes down. Whoa. He landed a really good punch on Boots. And I was about to say something till Boots came with the counter and knocked him on his ass. That's what you call getting knocked on your ass right there, buddy. That's what it's called when you get knocked on your ass like that, man. That was bad. That was bad. But Avanesyan is up, man, and he's a warrior. He's a fighter, man. And it's 54 seconds left in the 5th round. And right now, Boots is laying a hurting on Avanesyan. You know, moving forward, punishing him the way that he's supposed to punish him, man. Will he survive this round? It looks like he will. It looks like he will. 12 seconds left in this 5th round, man. 12 seconds left. And Boots starting to just show off, man. Boots is showing off, man. He's just doing what he's supposed to do, man, in this situation. That's exactly what he needed, though. He needed to knock down you got to put on a show, and every guy, you ain't going to knock every guy out one punch. But Avanesyan is a guy that you definitely is going to have to, like, put him out. He's not going to be the guy that's just going to do anything. He's going to be the guy you got to put out. And of course, that's a 10-8 round right there. He don't score the fight. We like to give you guys the real, man. We like to give you guys the real. And 10-8 rounds happen in boxing, okay? 10-8 rounds happens in boxing. And I'm having a bit of technical difficulties here myself. And that is it. That is it. Early in the 6th round. Oh my God. Right when I had the technical difficulties, of course, the knockout happens. Boots was challenged by somebody that can take a punch. It took Boots into almost the 6th round. Now we see him get hit. He got hit with some shot fire as well. That head bounced back. I mean, normally you're not supposed to get hit shots like that by bigger punches, but right top of these taking this final short. Wow. That's how you close the show, though, man. You can tell the crowd a little disappointed. They wanted to see that highlight reel knockout. But so the corner called it quits. The corner called it quits. The whole left side of Avanesyan's chin is swollen, but it's the right side that put him down. Man. I mean, I guess the knockdown was the moment. I had a little bit of technical difficulties, but he did not come out for the 6th round. And it looks like Avanesyan's jaw might be pretty broken. So they waved it off in the 6th round, before the 6th round starts. So while Avanesyan has been worthy of fighting the world's best, he just hasn't been good enough to beat him. And that was again the case tonight as he put up a valiant effort. But Jaron Ennis, too fast, too strong, too good. You heard it. You heard it, man. And he's gonna retain his title, man. Jaron Ennis is, man. And, I mean, I guess that's what you gotta call a bit disappointing, man. I'ma just be real. Avanesyan, man. I said it's knockout or TKO, so I knew that was gonna be the case. You know, I didn't see it going any other way. But on advice of the ringside physician at the end of round number 5. Ringside physician is the one that stopped it officially. And still, and still Jaron Ennis, man. And still. That's all you gotta say when you talk about guys that are great, man. He made the man quit on his stool, man. And he didn't quit. The physician made him quit, but I mean, 32-0, 29 knockouts. That's how you know the boy the truth, man. You know. Yes, I mean, so he don't score the fight. We still gonna bring you to school. I mean, I felt like Boots won the first 4 rounds convincingly. The 5th round, of course, is a 10-8 round because of the knockdown. And then he didn't even come out, So, I'm looking at 50 to what? It's like 46. Excuse me, now. Let me make sure it's right. 18 is 36 plus 8. Excuse me. That's 44. 50 to 44 is what I had. If you had it differently, feel free to comment. Feel free to, hear us out. And we're going to bring you Jaron Ennis.
First fight in Philadelphia in about 6 years, but it didn't look like you were all that happy with that performance.
I felt good. I felt off a little bit. I didn't think I was going to have no ring rust. I'll be in the gym 24/7, but I did feel a little off. But that's okay. I got the job done. And I appreciate everybody coming out to support me.
Shout out to Jaron Ennis.
Shout out to Philly. I appreciate y'all. Philly, DC, New York, the whole Tri-State area.
You know what he said.
Everybody that came out and support me, I appreciate y'all. And shout out to Brickyard, baby. You already know.
50, you know what he said. Philly, DC.
You have been off for just about a year. How did that ring rust, how did it show itself tonight?
Just my time. I feel like my time was a little.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why I came in here thinking that my time wasn't gonna be up. Because I thought my time was going. I didn't think my time was gonna be up because I was in the gym, like I said. But it's okay. I felt good. I felt I'm in shape. I could have went 15 rounds. It was easy.
You did have an opponent that took a lot of punishment in this fight, in David Avanesyan. You finally got to him in that 5th round through that right hand. What were you looking for towards the end?
Just keep pressing him, keep pushing him back. I knew I was too strong for him. Should listen to my corner a little more, jab a little more, go to that body a little more angles. Stop standing in front.
Yeah, but that's a really solid knockdown.
It's okay.
It's a highlight knockdown right there.
You were preparing for a very different fighter in Cody Crowley, who had to step out about a month ago. Did the change, you think, affect you at all?
No, the change didn't affect me at all. Like I always say, we prepare all the way around the board. We had pressure fighters, southpaws, orthodox.
Shout out to Ennis, man. Shout out to Ennis.
So it don't really matter.
You defend that piece of the welterweight title. There are unification fights out there for you. There's also Terrence Crawford, who Eddie Hearn says he wants to make that fight if Crawford wins on August 3rd. What's your preference?
Most definitely, let's make it happen. That's what I want. I want the big names. Terrence Crawford, anybody else in that weight that got a big name, let's get it. Let's make it happen.
So what's your first fight back in Philadelphia in 6 years? More than
Shout out to
14,000
Boots.
fans here in Wells Fargo tonight for you. They showed
They
out
say more than
for you on your fight
14,000.
night. How did it feel being back home?
I feel phenomenal. Last time for that home was a sold out event. This one I did it again. And I appreciate everybody that came out once again. Everybody came out support. I appreciate y'all so much. I'm gonna keep putting on beautiful shows. Next fight I'm gonna be even better. Just keep tuning in, keep coming to support me. I'm gonna keep bringing them knockouts home.
I think we'll be back here for sure. Congratulations.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be
Most
back in
definitely.
Philly for
I
sure.
want to thank my team, my dad, my
Bozy.
brothers, my mom.
You know, shout out to Bozy Ennis, man.
The whole team, and I want to thank Eddie Hearns. Appreciate you bring me on the team. Shout out to Boost Promotion. Shout out to my two young guys that fought tonight, Ismail Muhammad and Dennis Thompson. They put on a beautiful show. Shout out to Christian Carter, my whole team, and everybody got the dubs, and I appreciate y'all.
And again, he's happy that you're on his team right now. Eddie, we'll turn to you. You said you wanted to see a great performance from Boots Ennis. What did you see tonight?
Well, firstly, I want to thank everyone in Philadelphia. That was an incredible spectacle to see. The first ever fight at Wells Fargo. And you've got a family here. They're ingrained in the city of Philadelphia.
Absolutely.
Bozy Ennis, Boots' dad, just turned around to me and said, I can't believe how many people are in here tonight. They're great people. And if he thinks that performance was off, or the world of boxing better be very, very afraid. Because that was Boots Ennis, 1 year out, dismantling a world-class fighter with ease in there, having fun, doing what he does.
That's right.
And the future for Boots Ennis is the future of boxing. That's what this young man is.
Studio
He's very
Runners
humble.
Radio.
You never hear him say too
Sport
much.
of fight.
I'll say it. I think he beats everyone. I think this is a special
Sport
fighter
of
that
fight,
needs to be
man.
tested against the best in the world. And that's our job now. Activity is key.
Now.
Too many of these great young fighters are too inactive. We must get him back out October, November. We'd love to return to Philadelphia. We've got to bring the bigger fights here, the unification fights. He's going to be around for a long time.
Okay. So what are your phone calls on Monday morning? You got 3 other champions out there, none with fights scheduled. You've also got Bud Crawford coming up against Madrimov in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, look, the plan is unifications. Before he moves to 54, which is inevitable at some point, we want to unify the division. Marios Barrios, Stanionis, any of these guys.
Yeah.
For me, I think Madrimov's going to beat Crawford. But if not, I would love to see Jaron Ennis against Crawford. I think he
Eddie
I
Hearns.
think it's the biggest fight in boxing. But that's in time. We've got to
Eddie
we've got
Hearns
to be active, and we've got to try and capture these belts.
You were due a successful homecoming, Eddie. Congratulations.
Eddie,
Guys, we'll throw it back to
Eddie
you.
Hearns tripping when he say Madrimov.
Matthias's meltdown in Puerto Rico a couple weeks ago.
I'm gonna say this. Of course, shout out to Boots Ennis again. I'd like to see Boots Ennis versus Stanionis. I think that's one of those fights that you should make. And I'd love to see him against Mario Barrios as well. So one of those two guys should be next for Boots Ennis. No more, you shouldn't have to fight guys that ain't on the world-class level. And so Boots Ennis has done what he's supposed to do. He's been amazing. And you guys have been amazing tuning in with us at Score the Fight. So I appreciate you. I want to thank you guys. I want you guys to know that it's been a pleasure bringing Score the Fights to you. It's been amazing bringing Score the Fights to you. And I want to thank you guys for continuously holding us down here at the Nature Network. I am Point B. This is Score the Fight. Thank you.